an interesting paradigm. It flows through our veins. But once it stops flowing through our veins, we die. For some of us, blood is our existence. It's our only key to hold on to the reality that we call life. Here we go. Okay, here we go. We're pulling out into the night. The night. I guess that's my time. Anyway, I've been, popping around the internet a lot lately. And, what I've really found is that there is a lot of people getting on there and making little videos about what they're thinking about, what they're doing, what they want to be doing, who they wish they were doing whatever with. I guess that's called vlogging. And, I just got to tell you, it's fucking ridiculous. Okay? It is just fucking ridiculous. All these people who are on there talk. Oh, I want to be with this girl. I want to be with that guy. I want to be doing this. Oh, here I am. Here's where I'm eating lunch. Who cares? I mean, people are so locked into their own meaningless nothingness that it's pretty sad. I mean, it really is. I mean, with the dawn of this whole digital age, I mean, this whole new whatever came along, and it just feeds into people's own egotism. And, it feeds into their own nonsensical sense of self, that they believe that they are something, that they believe that there's something more than what they are, which is basically nothing. I'm from a different time and a different age, so you have to understand that I guess my sensibilities are a little bit different. But, back in the time, we only spoke about things that mattered. We only detailed aspects of our life that mattered. Like I say, they ramble on and on and on and on about their nonsense, where they're going to eat their lunch, their boyfriend who left them, their girlfriend who left them, how they want to fall in love with this, whoever it is, rock star, movie star, rap star. It's just pretty amazing that people have such small, limited perspectives of life. Yet, on all these websites, these people get thousands and thousands and thousands of hits, about their nothing life. They even have vlogs about how to vlog. How ridiculous is that? but they want to go around and put their vlogs up on the internet and, wow, here's what I had for lunch. Who cares? Here's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. I don't care. Oh God, I wish I could be with this girl. Oh, I wish I could be with this guy. You're never going to be with them. Here's who I'm having lunch with. Who cares? They want to do a video response to everything. I mean, which is just about as fucking ridiculous as the vlogging itself. Oh, let me give you my video response to what you're thinking, what you're feeling. Who cares? You know, have you ever had anybody die on you? Or know somebody who died? And do you ever, go through their stuff, kind of look through their stuff? What do you find? I mean, there's a whole lot of things, particularly photographs. And maybe to that person, those photographs meant a lot. I don't know, maybe they did. But they're the most meaningless dribble. And yet, people have projected that same reality of a photograph onto videotape and then onto the internet. Now, the point I'm trying to make is, if you've known anybody who dies, what mattered to that person only mattered to them. It doesn't matter to anybody else. I mean, what happens to all those photographs? They get thrown away. And that's really a similar reality to what's going on in the world of vlogging. Is it just spreads the meaninglessness of nothing, the meaninglessness of life upon everybody who encounters it. And I mean, the reality is, it's really, really boringly stupid. People just want to talk about nothing. Who cares what they feel? I mean, there's certain guys out there, okay, I understand that, it's some hot chick vlogging, and she's, talking about whatever, so the guy actually holds a fantasy that maybe he can hook up with her. Dude, you can't. You're not going to ever hook up with her. You can send her all the emails you want, you can send her all the video responses you want, but the reality is, man, you ain't gonna get it. And I suppose that it happens on the other side of the picture too. I mean, there's girls out there, who see a hot guy who's vlogging, and they want to meet him. They want to have a relationship. The whole big difference. That's really the whole big difference between guys want to hook up, right? Guys want to hook up, right? Guys want to do what they do. Guys want to do what they do. But women, hope to have a relationship. But the reality of it is, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And so I find it really amusing, at least from my perspective, how people spend so much time making their vlogs, uploading them, and then how much more time people waste watching the ridiculous vlogs. I've seen people, going out to eat. Here's what I'm eating. Here's what I'm drinking. there's no sustenance. There's no value to what they're eating or what they're drinking. It's a little bit different in my case. You know, a lot of people have wondered how and why I've become what I am. But I guess more and to the point, if you will, I mean, you know, as I was mentioning, you know, some people die. And I guess that's where I come in. I mean, there's a certain reality for certain people out there, people like myself, who, I don't know, how can I say this? They market in death. They embrace the non-living, like myself. I mean, I think that the reality is nobody particularly chooses to live like that or do that. I mean, certainly I didn't. I mean, if you look at my evolution and how I got to be who I am and what I am, certainly I didn't choose that. Somebody chose it for me. I don't think anybody chooses to become a vampire. I think it's more of a reality that just overtakes you. Certainly in my case, it happened to me one night. I mean, I was on a drive like I am tonight, you know. I thought I would just take a nice drive. You know, I was coming down out of the mountains. I was driving along the coast, the California coast, of course. And it was a beautiful, beautiful rainy day. I was really enjoying myself. You know, it was really a spiritual moment, a spiritual drive, a spiritual time. I mean, the reality of it is I didn't choose this life. And I don't think anybody who would have a choice would choose this life. How did this happen? I mean, how did it start? I mean, I guess I could show you. I mean, it was a rainy day, Northern California. I was driving along the coast. was a rainy day, Northern California. I was driving along the coast. Came into San Francisco, and after that it all gets a bit blurry. I mean, I'm not quite sure what happened next. I cruised on into the city, San Francisco. And from there, I mean, things got a little bit distorted. I mean, I'm not quite sure exactly what happened. I know at some point I ended up in LA, where I am now. And after that, I don't know, the next thing I remember, I was looking out over Los Angeles. I wanted to find just a really, really beautiful spot to see the city, and then I started encountering this, this entity. I guess there's no other way to describe her than that. And I was, walking up to this overlook, this place where I could overlook the city, just to see the sights and what was going on down below me. And I was this strange, this place where I could overlook the city, just to see the sights overtook me. I guess there's no other way to say it than that. I mean, she overtook me. that's my new reality. And after that, I merged into this world of the undead. And that's where I live now. The point to all this? Well, the point to all this is really simple. I mean, what's going on is that all these people who vlog want to sit and talk about the meaninglessness of their life, but they don't have to live. They don't have to survive. They're all living on mommy's money, daddy's money. If they have a job, it's like meaningless. They don't have to survive. I mean, for people like myself, survival is based in life. Survival is based in death. Survival is based in blood. And that blood must be gained from the living. And to do that, you have to take a life. It's not pretty, is it? But that's my reality. So you can see how I have a certain annoyance, perhaps, let's call it an annoyance, at people who want to sit and talk about the meaninglessness of their lives, you know, where they're going to eat, who they're going to eat with, and all this sort of nonsense. Instead of like looking to the realms of reality, where reality is life and death. I mean, the reality of life and death is that these people don't understand anything at all. Reality is you have to survive. Now, in the case of a vampire like myself, I didn't choose this lifestyle, okay? It chose me. It overtook me, so thus I was thrust into it. Once I was thrust into it, I had no choice but to live and survive the best way I could. So in that reality, I was forced into a survival of drinking blood. That's what I do. I'm a vampire, okay? I suck blood for a living. I don't know, from watching the vlogs on the internet, I mean, some people think it's like a holy lifestyle, think it's the ultimate achievement. But believe me, these are all people that don't have to suck blood for a living. They can fantasize, they can pretend, they can dream all they want about all the gloriousness of gothness, the darkness. You know, they feel that like, oh, all this gothic thing is something grandiose. But that's because they don't have to suck blood for a living in the dark. You know, people out there in the vlogs are constantly talking about all this darkness, all this gothness. They think it's somehow grandiose. But that's because they don't have to suck blood for a living. When you have to do that, everything changes. The problem with becoming a vampire, and once again, you don't choose this lifestyle, it chooses you. And once it does, you're trapped into a space of survival. And that survival sometimes is not pretty. Now, I could talk on and on and on about this, like people do on their vlogs all the time. But the reality is The only reason they think this lifestyle is cool, is something to aspire to, is because they don't have to live it. And they never will have to live it. Trust me. So all they are doing is spreading the illusion, spreading the hope and the desire for something that will never come to pass and something that could never come to pass. The reality is, about the vampire lifestyle, is that it is a world, a reality of taking. Like the vampire who took me. She left me lost in the desire, lost in the need to fulfill my bloodlust. And the ones I take after me are lost in that same reality. That's why I'm cast into this world of darkness, roaming the realms of the night. Now, if I can get back to the main subject, the whole reason I began speaking tonight, it's about vloggers. I mean, do people really have that small of a life, that small of a reality, that lack of need to do anything more important than to sit around in front of their computer and talk about the meaningless nothing that they are exhibiting in their life? I mean, do they have nothing better to do with their time than to sit and talk and talk and talk about what they're thinking, what they're feeling, and what they would like in their life? As the Buddha so aptly said more than 2,000 years ago, the cause of suffering is desire. And all of these vloggers are doing is living in a space of desire. They want something. They want something more than what they're living. Why don't they get off of their asses, get out there and live life instead of sitting in front of a computer and talking about nothing? Talk about nothing. You know, one of the more amusing things I find in vlogging is people who make vlogs about other people's vlogs. I mean, they'll watch somebody else talking about their reality of nothing, and then they sit down in front of their computer and talk about what they think about what that person was saying and what they are doing with their reality of nothing. I mean, we get back to one source point, don't we? It's a reality of nothing, a reality of doing nothing, but sitting in front of a computer and talking about stupid, nothing existence. Get off of your butts, vloggers. Get out there and live your life. If you live your life, if you're actually doing something with your life, then maybe you won't be wasting all of your time sitting in front of a computer and talking about your nothing reality. Now, I can speak a little bit more about why people glorify the dark realms of existence that vampires like myself live within. People want to talk about it. People want to fantasize about it because it's a reality totally alien to who they are, and what they've experienced. When they want to eat dinner, they can go to the local fast food. Or most vloggers live at home because they're such losers that they have their parents cooking their food for them. So what they really are doing is they're fantasizing about a realm where they are something other than nothing. Something other than a person who just sits in front of their computer and talks about nothing. You know, and so we go into the reality of where they eat. Well, they fantasize about being a vampire when they can go buy their dinner at the supermarket. Or like I mentioned, have their parents make it for them. But the reality of it is when you live out there in the darkness, completely reliant upon yourself, what realms of reality do you have to think about? What do you want to talk about? Why would you want to sit in front of a computer and talk about nothing? Because what you then need to do is you need to go out there and find the appropriate neck to sink your teeth into. Because that's the only way that you're going to feed. Believe me, your mommy ain't going to bring you that home for dinner. But, back to my point. So, for people like myself who are forced into this existence and have to survive, you can't drive through a fast food restaurant. There's no fast food place that serves blood. And since blood is the only thing that people like myself can survive on, what are we supposed to do? You know, we can sit around and pretend, you know, and we can, you know, watch movies about vampires, and hell, we can make movies about vampires. We can make vlogs about vampires. But it's all nonsense. It's all a false reality that doesn't exist. I mean, ultimately, some would say, from a metaphysical, spiritual perspective, that all reality doesn't exist, that this reality doesn't exist at all. It's all just a projection of our own mind. And be that as it may, I feel real. Do you feel real? If you do feel real, then, you know, I think I am, therefore I am. But once again, it all goes back to philosophic perspective and, you know, what you choose to believe. Because reality is basically your choice, what you choose to believe. I can choose to believe that I'm not here, but in fact I am. If I stop drinking the blood of others, then perhaps I won't be here. And that's a choice you can make too. I mean, you know, you can stop eating your burgers, eating your vegetarian cuisine, whatever it is, you know. There's a lot of vegans out there now. But for people like myself where there's no choice, we're forced to a diet of fresh, raw, hot, warm, tasty blood. You know, it's you know, I can choose not to drink it and I can probably die. You can choose not to eat and you can probably die. You can choose to stop talking about your meaningless existence and perhaps the world would be a little bit better. I mean, I think it would. I mean, you know, once again, we go back to the subject of vlogging. And I've seen people that make endless vlogs, you know, endless, just meaningless dribble, talking and talking and talking. I mean, who cares? You're locked into your own reality thinking that it matters. And I think that perhaps is the ultimate spiritual point, that people want to believe that their life matters, that what they're saying matters, that what they're doing matters. It doesn't. Trust me, it doesn't. Because anything that you're doing, somebody else can do just as well. Somebody else can do better. Somebody else can vlog on for hours about nothing and talk about nothing. And it just goes on and on and on. Certainly this has really been exacerbated by the digital age, where people can carry video cameras with them, small video cameras with them, wherever they go. And they can record whatever they do. Step into the realms of the night, where nothing else really matters. We seek survival. We seek existence. We seek the lust of blood. We touch others. They touch us. But it's us who conquers them, because we sink our fangs in and we drink their blood. Driving through the night, we seek illusion in all of its glory. We hope for a cure. We hope for an answer. We hope for an illusion that's worth its price in gold. But for those of us who walk only in the night, the only goal is blood. Sin City. Looks like I'm home. You don't even know who's telling the truth. I mean, these people could be making up everything that they are saying.